I will say one thing. You guys really make our podcast feel inadequate.
Why is that?
Because it in a good way, in the best possible way. Like, I can't believe the setup you have going here. Everything from the branding of everything you have to you're filming it. There's like it looks like, I guess you guys can, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it looks like the Star Trek Enterprise took a shit in my kitchen.
Hit it! Sophisticated
podcast, baby. Now tell me something good. Oh, yeah.
What's up, everybody? Pizza Beer Revolution, Mike Polano, Chris Ippolito, Joe Maffei, and we have a very special guest for season 2, sitting in on the A side, Mr. Sal Vulcano.
Yay, I made it.
Yeah, the
I
elusive.
made it.
You know, I wanted to say the elusive Sal Vulcano, right? 'Cause,
Yes.
it's been tough.
Well, I mean,
He's like the Yeti.
I haven't been elusive. It just it was the schedule challenged
Sure.
Sal Vulcano.
You're a busy man.
I've been wanting to do this from the get go.
We're so glad you're here.
I'm very
We're so
excited.
glad we're here
Yes.
with you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're in the Shaolin, if you will, right?
Yes. I'll give one better. I'll go from the inspiration of cat people, cats.
Right.
You ever see Cats on Broadway?
No. You saw it?
Memories.
That's your worst nightmare. Right?
I never thought of that. Yeah.
They come out from and they sit on people's laps. Can you
No,
imagine?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine?
I mean, I think it was like up there for the longest running show on Broadway
Nice.
at one time. And I remember my whole childhood it was running.
Yeah.
And then depending on who you talk to, it is unique or like the most god awful
Total
play.
schlock.
I don't even think they speak.
No, they don't.
They sing,
no,
right?
they do sing. They have to. It's a play, right?
Isn't that song Memories from Cats?
Yeah,
Yes.
Buckley song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I just heard it's got like people like it's just thick. Like they're just people dressed as cats like running around.
That's what it is, man.
And that's a nightmare for you because you're cat phobic?
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't necessarily be a nightmare for me, but I don't like regular cats. Yes.
I don't either.
You know, I've
Felines.
seen that on Broadway.
You did see it.
Oh.
Did they go on?
With my parents when they thought I was gay when I was younger. So they took me to Cats. And
Not that there's
I
anything
loved
wrong
it.
with that, but-
So
Loved it.
Did you?
it was a smash. It was a thrill a minute.
It was.
I can see as a kid, especially liking it.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, I went and saw Peter Pan on Broadway. I think that was like my first play that I saw.
I remember that being huge back when we were
it
kids.
was Sandy Duncan.
I saw the one
man.
with Sandy Duncan too.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
You went to a lot of Broadway.
Oh, my grandmother loved it. She lived in
Awesome.
Brooklyn, so I mean, she
Okay.
always used to take us.
Yeah, and that's when they threw her on the wires and she was
Yeah.
flying around and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
They could do that all the way back then, but they can't do Spider-Man After Dark. They can't pull it off.
They finally did that
They-
with that,
yeah.
didn't they? It was in a mess up front.
I think it
for a
was
long
more
time.
aggressive. I have Spider-Man Turn
Did
Up
you-
the Dark Stories.
Have you seen it?
Yes. So when it was first coming out, we're like, oh my god,
ears.
it's going to be a Broadway play about Spider-Man, which in and of itself is real interesting. You know, like
Are
I
you a
want to see.
superhero guy? You like Marvel and
Yeah, I'm not like over the top. I have a the general base knowledge that everyone else has. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so like we got to see how they do this. We got to see, And then when the stories started coming out, I mean, it's sad to say this, but when the stories started coming out that it's in previews and then delaying it, and because you might see someone fall and everything, like you don't want to see anyone get hurt.
Right.
But
So you wanna see someone fall.
not fall, but I would like to I would like to experience a mess up in a play and everyone be like, all right, hold on a sec. Like, I don't know. Like,
It's
I
like the NASCAR of Broadway.
right.
the beta testing of our Broadway show.
So we went and I went with the guys. Actually, went after shooting one day, and we went and there was one or two stop downs, and it was like, oh my god, they stopped down. I can't believe it. And then
Oh, really?
it continued.
How-
Like he got stuck, like hanging upside down.
So what do they do? Do they announce
just,
it?
They just literally like stop and they just come out and fix it and then they just continue.
Interesting.
Goobers are on sale.
This was in previews? It was in previews still?
In previews, I went again. Wait. So it was in previews, and we saw it, but it was much more aggressive. Like I'm sure they were doing things Sandy Duncan never even dreamed.
Right.
But there's like all different Spider-Mans because he'll fly across and then he's over there, and so there's like 20 of them and they're just all over, and then they fight in the air and everything. So then after it was like out like a year, we're like, because they changed the whole story. They kept on like changing the script and all this stuff because they were like still trying to find the right tone. And then we went again, and I saw it again, and it was better the second time. And then afterward, we were taking photos in the lobby with they had Spider-Man guys dressed up,
Right.
And a bunch of people from the theater, some of the workers of the theater recognized us. And then I think just a side comment, we were like, we want to meet the guy who played Spider-Man, and they're like, oh yeah, hold on, I'll be right out. So we're like, all right, and he came out, and he knew us.
All right.
And his name is Reeve Carney. He's actually an actor and a musician, and he's pretty well known within his own right. His family's a musical family.
He played Spider-Man. He played Peter Parker and Spider-Man, or
Yes.
did he just play Peter Parker?
No, he played. Well, like I said, they had a lot of stunt Spider-Man.
Oh,
but he did a lot of it too.
He did.
Yeah, and he was awesome. And he came out and he was like, "Oh my God, I love you guys." And we're like, "You were awesome." And then we went out.
Oh, with Spider-Man?
Yeah.
How does Spider-Man hold it down?
We're friends to this day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We have an ongoing kind of debate about changing the ethnicity of a superhero.
Well, Donald Glover made a campaign. You know who Donald Glover is?
Yeah, Childish Gambino.
Yeah, Childish Gambino, he wrote for 30 Rock, and he was on, he's on Community.
Yeah.
You wrote for 30 Rock?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm a
60%?
comedy nerd, so he's from this comedy troupe called Derek Comedy that came out of UCB in New York.
Is he related to Danny Glover, the older actor?
He's
no
not,
relation?
he's not.
Corey Glover, the singer from Living Color?
I'm getting 12.
Oh wow, not bad. No,
I know my
yeah.
Glovers.
You do.
I'm a Glover nerd.
So he made a campaign on Twitter to play the next Spider-Man, but so you're changing the ethnicity.
Hold on a sec, though. I'm not talking about. There are many Green Lanterns.
There's an African American, there's a black Green Lantern.
Right, but he's not Hal Sparks.
Right.
So Peter Parker, I have no my contention is you can't take Peter Parker and now change him to Puerto Rican. But you can have another Spider-Man. And he could be whatever, but he's Sal Vulcano. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be an argument. There's no right or wrong. I probably agree with you. I'd stay true to the way it was written.
To that character.
Yeah, to that character.
You know what I mean?
Tell that to the people who are remaking Annie.
Why is it? What's
Annie is that awesome little black actress from the movie. She kills it.
Beast of the Southern Wild,
Yes,
right?
she's insane. I forget her name. I
I
think
can't think of it. It's like Enfume Quizane
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. She's great, right?
she's probably an amazing. She is an amazing
They
actress.
already redid it, didn't they?
Yeah,
They
it's
did?
coming out,
Yeah.
I think. But
why do I feel like I'm okay with that, but not a superhero?
I agree.
I
You
don't
know,
know why.
I don't see a.
Oh, it's all right to change Annie.
So,
Right, why? Though?
What
That's
if-
not right. Like I feel
Wait,
like
what
I'm
if Peter Parker got a really heavy spray tan? I mean, is that too bad?
could Lando Calrissian, to flip it around, could he be white?
Oh,
If
definitely.
originally the character of Lando was written or casted to a white actor, then yes. But in Star Wars 8, you can't just change him. That's my
I don't care.
Okay,
As long as he
No,
still
but
drinks
that's
Colt
that's a
45.
completely different beast, though. You're just talking about in Star Wars and sequels. You're talking about continuation of a story.
Yeah.
Whereas in comics, they have 5 different storylines for the same universe.
right.
Like if you get back Batman Dark Knight or Batman, this or that, whatever. It's like they're writing
Yeah, they're different incarnations of that
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
right?
All right. I'm
But
starting
no,
to
but
come around a little
But
bit.
Annie's rough though because she's iconically the red perm,
Yeah.
right?
So
So
it's
that's
gonna be
that really is switching up one of the hallmarks of the character.
Is it going to be a red fro?
Yeah, is Annie with
And
a
is
dye
Daddy
job?
Warbucks going to be black too?
I don't know. I don't know much about it.
Who's your daddy?
Just read an
Who's your
article.
daddy? Warbucks.
All right. Well, I'm coming around a little bit.
Okay.
But it's also perception because I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
But so then but you wouldn't know it probably.
Well, I knew.
If I played like a fat Spider-Man, you wouldn't, you would be like,
You're 50-50, right? How would you? I don't know how you put Italian and Puerto Rican together. How do you do that? Like you're like a Chinegro. Like I'm trying to do one of those. But how do you?
I don't know. It's
Boricua.
I don't know how you.
Oh,
do that.
a Boricua
Isn't Boricua-
Parmesan? A Boricua Parmesan? I don't know. Like,
That's pretty good.
that's good. I don't know. If I play
Parmesan.
footsies with you one
I
more
know,
time
right?
on
I'm
this
like,
table, I
come
can't
on,
wait.
man.
PBR.
We have a pretty tight knit relationship with our listeners, and when I say that, I'm referring to the podcast I do with Q, which is What Say You podcast. It's like it's way more close to home than the show, even though like our fans from the show are unbelievable. It's just a more intimate relationship with the people from the podcast because they listen to you just bullshit for an hour,
Right.
And you really like get to touch on things that the show's not about. The podcast can be whatever we want it to be.
Right.
So the dialogue with the people inherently then is just more like, just
Yeah.
more intimate.
And
But
with social media, that becomes so available too, which is awesome. You know, like when people go on and they support us on Patreon and they leave comments, or when they go on Booster and they leave comments, and they talk about you and thank you or just for doing what you love doing. It's like it's pretty awesome, man, you know?
Yeah, you forget, well, at least I do when I'm doing this, that anyone's listening to it at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I do. Like we just go off on tangents and just BS. And then we're like, oh, it's been an hour, it's been 90, whatever, just stop it. And then like you forget, it's like, oh my God, like all these people are listening to it.
Yeah.
And you know what freaks me out a lot too is like I forget what we talked about.
Yeah.
Like I always have this thing, oh man, I hope I didn't tell this story already. Because there's no way to catalog like that.
Sure.
If 25 episodes ago I mentioned something for 5 minutes, I don't remember that. If because you know, it starts like melding, like did I just tell someone in conversation or did I say it on the podcast? So I don't want to repeat myself, but I have found that when I do meet people on the street or at like our live shows and stuff, and they'll say stuff to me like about my life, and I'm always like, how do you know that? And they're like, you said it on the podcast. I'm like, oh man, I say a lot on the podcast.
That's funny.
You know, they'll be like, oh, is your like, you know, your goldfish still in the freezer or whatever? And I'm just like, what? How would you know that? Like, I get freaked out, and then it's like you told the whole story.
It's so odd coming in here. I mean, like I thought I knew you before walking in the door. You know, I mean, I've seen your show,
Right.
listened to the cast. I
Right,
mean,
right.
So you think you know.
It's a cool thing, actually. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
When well, I guess in social media gives you the opportunity to actually know some of those people if you choose, you know, which is different than I guess in the past, you know.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's been people that have started following us since day one, and you know, you recognize names and faces and stuff like that. 100%. I will say one thing: you guys really make our podcast feel inadequate.
Why is that?
Because it in a good way, in the best possible way. Like I can't believe the setup you have going here. Everything from the branding of everything you have to you're filming it. There's like it looks like, I guess you guys can, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it looks like the Star Trek Enterprise took a shit in my kitchen. It's no joke. Like I don't know what any of this stuff is.
That's
like,
awesome. What do you use? Like I don't.
I promise you this. I take out a microphone, I plug it in, and I start to speak. Like there's no wires, there's no boards, there's no cameras, we don't have. I'm wearing a T-shirt of the podcast. We don't have that. I mean, I think we just started selling those, but like I don't have one. I'm like, how do I get one? This is very, very impressive. You gave me a bag. It had. Do people know about this?
Swag.
About what? About
The swag bag that you gave me?
go ahead.
on
You
the
know what?
show.
Go ahead and describe it. I mean,
I'm gonna show. I have a pint glass with PBR on it. That like, and then I have the T-shirt.
Yeah.
And there's like, you can't see it, but there's stickers everywhere. There's like, you guys like brought like a folder with like, I guess I'm thinking important documents, and it has the logo on the folder.
oh yeah.
I can't believe it.
on the case of the.
Do you? Let me just put this back. I will tell you something right now. With us, I have I don't even have a mic stand.
Really? I'll leave
So
one for you.
cute. I need one. I need one for traveling. I just bought one on Amazon when I bought the Jackery. That was a side conversation.
Why do you keep it's a jockery.
What's a jockery? Oh, that battery thing?
What do you keep calling it?
That's real. That's really weird because online they say Jackery, J-A.
Oh.
This might be a knockoff.
Oh, well, who got the knockoff? Is mine a knockoff? Dennis, is mine a knockoff?
I thought it was Jackery. Jockery?
Well,
Maybe you might have just turned my whole world upside
Maybe
down.
you got the knockoff because I have three of them. I have three of them in this room right now. Are they jock? Is it an O or an A, Dennis?
Oh, there you go. There
Right.
you
I
go.
just can't
All
see.
right.
All right, my fault.
60%.
No, but so I don't have a stand. So sometimes when Q comes and he forgets,
Yeah.
I take the mic and I put it in a. I'm not kidding. I put it in a pint glass and it just leans and I just like talk like this for because we don't film it. So that's the operation we have going. I put a microphone in a pint glass.
Well, I'm glad we brought you two microphone stands.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'm very, very impressed.
But we put out a question of the week. Normally we put out on social media a question to our fans about something that we're going to talk about. But this week we just kind of wanted to open it up to your fans and see what they said to you. So do you want to answer some questions?
Let's do it.
Is it hard work always being the mean one? You seem really mean, Sal.
I note a bit of maybe sarcasm.
Right.
It's hard work being the nice one. That's for sure. I mean, I just get, people don't really see me as the pussy of the group.
They do.
Yeah. I mean, I back out of a lot of things, and I also
Back out of what specifically? Like what?
Like on the show,
Yeah.
Impractical Jokers, if like, you know, people aren't familiar with it, it's a hidden camera show, and me and 3 of my friends who are actual friends for 25 years compete against each other in hidden camera situations. And then whoever does the worst at the end gets punished. So basically, if you say no, it gets marked against you.
If you say no to the punishment.
If you say no to the challenges,
Oh, right.
and then whoever says no the most gets punished at the end.
Sure.
Whoever fails miserably, and I do lose a lot because I think the line that my ceiling of a line that I won't cross is probably a little lower than the guys.
Okay.
I think I also just come across more kind-hearted. I think.
Okay.
Murray has a cold, creepy demeanor. Like
Really, I didn't get that from him.
Really?
Ever.
Joe's a wild man and will do anything, and Q doesn't give a shit.
Right.
So they all have qualities in them that make them tougher, that make them better than me at the.
So you're the cute beetle.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure.
Why did you start with that one?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
just thought it was interesting.
Okay, you jumped to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you have led with?
Well, I would have went down the list. That's why.
Okay.
No, I'm just curious.
I would have started at 1.
That one-
I would've
that one
started
jumped
at
out at
1,
me.
went to 3.
This is from Jean Grayson, at J Grayson. They said, Sal, did you ever bury that poor goldfish?
Are you making a joke?
No, I swear to God.
You see what I mean? I forget that people know that.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna give you guys an exclusive. Hold on a second.
Oh, he's going to the
Pulling
freezer.
out the frozen goldfish?
You don't get rid of a goldfish by burying it. You flush it.
No, he
He freezes it. He cryogenically preserved it.
Oh, what is the name of this goldfish? Walt Disney?
No, it's Ted Williams.
Okay, I want to show you something. This is for real.
Oh, I love it.
Now,
It's like wrapped up in
before
foil.
you go into
fillets.
it, before you go into it, I just want to check something. Can we speak freely about anything that we shot this past summer? Or should we not?
I wouldn't talk about my leg.
Okay. Yeah.
But we could talk about this.
Well, Italian ices,
Yeah, we could talk about that.
because it's
Yeah, that's not too big a deal. So I had a fish for like 6 years. It was a goldfish, and the way I inherited these fish is I had one, but like prior to that, I had one for 6 years, and he kicked the bucket. And my niece, like, they have the fair at school, and she'll throw like a ping pong ball into a cup, and then they give her like a fish that's worth literally 5 cents.
Right.
It's the feeder fish.
Yeah.
You know, and then she brings it home, and if I don't do anything, it's dead. Like, no one else is doing anything. So I was like, you can't put that in a solo cup and feed it Wonder Bread. You can't do that. So I went and bought the setup and everything, and then the things just live. You know, they just live. So
they'll get as big as the environment in which you give them to
that's
live.
correct.
Yes.
So I had this thing 6 years, and then it died, and I won't flush a fish down the toilet. I just won't do it. I can't believe that people do that.
It's an adventure.
It's really weird if you think about it. They're only flushing it down the toilet because they can.
Right. What?
It's just totally disrespectful. Like if we had like bigger toilets, I wouldn't flush a dog down the
Right.
toilet.
No, you wouldn't. I
Sure
get it.
would.
Most of us would not flush the dog down the toilet.
Maybe it's the contention is if you were a fish and died, that's kind of where you'd end up anyway.
Okay, I can kind of see that, I guess, but I still feel it's like that disrespectful a little bit.
Like, what would I flush with a toilet that would take
We're
anything?
talking about a dead fish,
A
right?
dead goldfish that you won at a carnival for 5 cents.
Flush it.
A
No?
feeder fish.
Is there really a question about that?
Well, I think
Unless you have a disposal.
I guess your value of the fish is such that there is
Well,
no value.
So you would tell us what you're going to do with your fish.
I was gonna bury mine in the yard. How much does that?
Doesn't that seem unnatural, though? Fish never get buried in yards out in the wild.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's a pet. I think that that's what we do as a human race. I was like, look, I'm gonna go outside. I'll dig a hole. It was the summer. It was really hot out, and I was like, I'm not gonna do it now because I don't want it to just decompose and smell and everything out there.
Right.
It's a goldfish.
How that big?
There will be
It's like that big. So
there'll be
like-
no smell.
So that's how I felt. I was like, it's also I feel bad. I'll put it out there, and then one day it's gonna be decomposing right away.
Did it have a name?
So no, I don't name my fish, and I'll tell you why. Because as a child, every time I named a fish, it died immediately.
I was afraid that you were trying to get it not attached or something.
No. So yeah. So So I just called it fish for 6 years.
Okay.
And then it lived. So then I said I'm gonna do it when the weather gets colder. That'll be about. And then I just didn't. And then I remember like a long time. Then I didn't. And I remembered and I forgot. And I remember. So I keep it. And this is it. This is actually it. I keep it. It's in my fridge.
So it's a foil wrapped.
Do you have anything
frozen
larger
goldfish.
in there?
What's that? Yes.
Yes. Oh wait.
It's-
Hold on. I just want to know if you have anything larger, any bigger pets in there.
There's no other pet in the fridge at all. So I still mean to do it. And actually, someone bought me a fish coffin.
What?
They bought me a fish coffin. They brought it to a show, and I have a fish coffin. I'm gonna go bury it. So now that's that guy. So we were filming
Yeah.
recently, and in the show, anything goes. And the guys we've gotten access to each other's apartments through various means, and they told me that we were selling ices in Union Square, and they told me that I was going, and they said in my I guess what's it called in the freezer that we had, they said they got into my house, and my fish was in the freezer. I hadn't looked at this in a while. I guess he had seen that. So he replicated it. They bought like one of those rubber fish that you use like to fake as bait or whatever, and he wrapped it up just like that. And I thought it was in there for the whole day. I was freaking out because I still think it's like I didn't want to do having a good laugh. And then they were like messing around with it, and then it had to be transported back to my house.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's gonna thaw. Like, this is a big mess now. So they put it in a cooler, its own cooler on ice.
Oh my.
And I've gotten Q's
Like it's a
car.
kidney. It's a kidney.
Yeah. I got in Q's car and we're driving home. And I'm like, oh, the fucking fish. All day I'm like worried about the fish. And then Q just breaks down and stuff. And he's like, dude, there's no fish in there. And I opened it was a rubber fish. So they got me there. But
My favorite part of my favorite moments of working on the show are when you guys you get each other personally the reactions are just so precious, man. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like you never saw it coming. You're concentrating on selling Italian ices to people,
Sure.
and bang! It's,
Right.
You ever,
Side swipe you, right?
yeah, you never know when that's going to happen. And it's fun for you. And it's it's fun for us to get the other, but it is really no fun when it's on
Sure.
you. It really is no fun. You feel like your world is rocked. Like everything you thought, like you feel very vulnerable.
Sure.
And they got into my house one time and they messed with it bad. And my mom got, because you know what, it was so close that like Gatto was able to convince my mom to give him the spare key. They had a film crew in my house all day long when I was in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And they were naked, rolling around on my couch. The point is that like you feel like, did you ever have your house robbed?
No, thankfully.
Kind of.
My house was
violated?
My house was burglarized when I was in high school. When I came home, like my drawers and everything was on the floor, and I was like, "Oh man, like that's weird. Like
Yeah.
this is a safe place."
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like when but except you're watching it in front of all these people, and you're just trying to make believe that it's not your house.
Sure.
So it was.
That's awesome.
That's funny. Back to me. Questions?
Yeah. Can you?
I'll go right from the top.
Oh, because this one's gonna
I
be
know.
interesting.
Where are the lost Barbara Marie Christine Fun Brown tapes?
And if I would have thought in advance and saw that one, I would have tried to get it. But I don't know where that is.
Who knew that?
Rob Coring.
Oh, okay. He was there for it. Okay. I was like, I definitely haven't talked about
So
that.
tell everybody, what is that?
So I worked at a deli, the convenience store in high school, and there was a crazy woman. She was crazy. She used to come in every day, and she had on a wig, and she was just weird, and she would come in all dressed up, and then she would just start screaming like Bible passages, and she was like the neighborhood crazy. So we like everybody embraced her. I was like,
She was your crazy.
yeah. So then she would come in and say, she would need to be fronted cigarettes, and she would pay us later. Like she'd always say that.
The wimpy of cigarettes.
I was going to say the Hamburger Tuesday.
Yeah, she used to come in, swing the door open, no matter what time it was. She'd be dressed up. She'd have a clutch purse, and she'd sometimes like a boob would be out, like it was like. And then she had on a big like obvious wig, and her name was Barbara Marie Christine Fun Brown.
That was on her license.
That was her name on her license. And she used to come in and be like,
Nice.
My name is Barbara Marie Christine Fun Brown, and I am not a whore. And then she would then just start quoting the Bible, and then she would walk up and say, may you please front me 2 packs of True Blue 100s. It was almost like I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for hamburger.
totally.
And we're like, all right, Barbara. And then like one time she was like screaming at like this girl that worked in here, Trisha, and her tooth, like I guess it was a cap, it like flew out and went in her bra. So like she was legend. She was legend. So I told Gatto this story, and Gatto loved. Oh, and she used to sign. We used to make her sign an IOU for the
Right.
cigarettes, and she would write Barbara Marie Christine Von Brown. So Gatto loved the story, loved the name, and one time he decided to. I think he entered like some contest.
Who wrote the lyrics?
I think Gatto wrote most of them. I think he came to me with the lyrics.
Right.
Do you remember any of them?
I know. I think I know them all.
I remember the chorus.
Can you give us a little acapella?
Oh Lord, I think Gatto wrote them because I remember he came to me, and I was like, and he's like, I want to film a music video for this.
For this and submit it for some
Yeah,
festival. or
something. I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
you to
Right.
rap it, and
Well, we both worked on it. Me, Chris.
yeah,
That's where you know.
Long time ago. Yep.
And I'm sorry, Penny too.
Penny.
You were on
Oh
Penny.
yeah, it was a penny.
Penny,
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Penny, 100%. Yeah. So yeah, then you guys helped film it, right? That
Yeah.
was it. Yeah,
It
that
was-
was it. It was at Gatto's house. It was in the parking lot at Miller
A
Field.
lot of motorcycle. I remember motorcycles.
Yeah, we had like the cars.
We had a
and the
jib
motorcycles.
arm,
Yeah,
like-
yes, that's right. And then our buddies produced the track, like the actual track and everything. And it's fun. It's cool. It has like an old school vibe to it, like a very like old school.
A very weird hook. Or break. I guess you would call it a break.
So that's the story of the break. I'm remembering all this now. Excuse me. So my buddy Mike Baccio, who used to be in the Tenderloins, which is the comedy troupe that the guys and I are in outside of Impractical Jokers, he worked there with us. Like all of our friends from high school did. It was like 10 guys that went to
At
school
the deli.
at the deli.
Yeah.
So every time she would walk in, we actually wrote a jingle for her.
Nice.
Oh.
No matter, I mean, I'm telling you, we'd be stocking, working the register, cooking, working the deli. We ran the whole place. And it could be a Sunday morning when people are like loaded in, there's like 30, 40 people in there. We're like, I have a sauce cooking. We're like cutting ham and cheese and we're doing all this stuff and someone's mopping. She walks in and before she could make her announcement, we would go, Barbara Marie Christine Von Brown, Barbara Marie Christine Von Brown.
And that's the break, right?
And everyone did it. Everyone, like the neighborhood started to
That's
know
great.
it. So like it was like one of these flash mob situations where
awesome.
she would walk in and even the customers, and we did it
love it.
synchronized.
I had no idea that's where it came
Yes,
from.
and then
man.
we also went Von Brown. So everyone did it, and then everyone would just like laugh, and we just give a free cigarettes. It was like a hoot. So that was the chorus of the song. I probably have that on my iPod.
Oh man, with your permission, I'd love to play it at the end of
That
this
is really
episode. I don't
funny.
know if whatever we can.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, let's listen to it. Maybe you could do it. Maybe you could, because I know if it's out there, it'll get out there.
Yeah.
But maybe even a snippet of it. At least
Yeah.
a part of it. Sure.
I remember.
Now I remember when he sings that.
Yeah.
I remember it. Totally. Yeah.
What the hell was that? What did I just do? I clapped my hands and sang a song too.
Oh, because that was the thing. That was the whole thing. Like every time the chorus happened in the music video, everyone stopped and sang the chorus, even though they didn't know the chorus
They just, like,
beforehand.
slid into
so
it.
it was like, what was that? Why did I just do that? Like it was like a virus almost.
It's
you know
so
what I mean?
much better now knowing the backstory.
Right.
Yeah. So that's
All
why
the-
it was like, what the hell was that? Because like people in the video, there's like people like,
Oh my! Oh,
Passersby.
Right. So that's
Right.
that's the people saying that, not her.
right,
That is unbelievable. 20-something years later,
you
and
understand
now
what you're
I
actually doing?
understand it.
right.
Oh, well, that should have been explained.
And the song itself is about she's irresistible. Well, she was
Resistible.
extremely resistible.
That's awesome. All right. Wow.
Back
wow.
to the Twitter sphere.
Right, back to Twitter. You've known us long enough. Well, we've known each other a while, right? But you've known Joe at least long enough now.
25 minutes.
You can answer this question. This is from @SuperDelicious1. She says, FMK, F Marry Kill, Ippolito Polano Maffei. Yeah, so
I have that same question on here from a different
I
user.
think it's the same person.
Oh,
Her
it
first
is?
name Kara?
Yeah, that's her.
This is from Kara.
She
She
really
also
was-
says something else that's you might understand. I don't.
Right.
Have you used an awesome sleep mask I gave you in North Carolina? That's obviously one of your.
I too. That's right by the side of my bed right now.
Nice.
There you go, Kara. He
She was-
uses it.
I didn't for a while, and then I busted it out one time, and I very much enjoy it. So I use it from time to time. And thank you for that. I remember meeting you. She gave one to all of us.
Oh,
She
cool.
said, I know you travel a lot. This is one of my favorite masks. which I thought was very, very thoughtful.
That's really nice. Did she give you the crazy straw shaped like a cat? Too?
No,
Was that-
crazy straws from someone else. We get lots of gifts. We're very fortunate that
nice.
way. People are just very giving to us, and they're always very thoughtful gifts too. Because
It
they
blows your
listen,
mind.
they pay attention to detail.
Fish coffins.
So like I don't have a Rolex. What am I gonna do?
Right.
I don't know.
You would really look good with a Rolex on right now.
Totally.
Now for the most awkward part, we're all gonna just look at you. If you
No.
answer this question, it's awkward.
I probably can answer it. Well, here's the thing. I know you the longest,
Right.
So I'm okay offending you.
Oh, I'm dead.
You're dead.
Oh shit!
Oh, that sucks, man.
Clearly, this is the guy.
I'm definitely a marrying type.
I know, but I didn't want to offend these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just heard you say before my wife.
Right.
So I know that you are probably married and are familiar with the institution of marriage.
Absolutely.
And you seem like a genuine, soft-spoken guy with a good heart from the 20 minutes I know we've been talking.
Wow, he's a bad read, isn't he?
That's what I was waiting to hear. You're dead. You're dead. You see that? Fucking, I got you right where I needed you. I just needed to solicit some information, and you played your hand too early. You're absolutely dead. I'd have sex with you. I know you're the longest. Of course I'd marry you. What are you, crazy?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Notice how I just glazed over the sex, too. I'm like, I'll have sex with you. Drop it. I'd marry you.
You didn't even make eye contact. I know,
it's like on the side of it.
with him.
It's only that.
Over there.
I wonder I think that's probably what all the other people would pick, too.
That was
Yeah,
great.
right.
I honestly was going to marry you until you said that.
It's okay.
Thank you for saving my life.
I'll get over it here.
Your situation went from grave
Yeah.
to amazing.
Yeah, I think I got the best out of it all. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'm not getting thrown to the curb. I'm not
See,
getting
that's
murdered.
just a little. We learned a little lesson today, which is just
Don't say too much.
Yeah, just take it easy, and things will come to you.
Shut your mouth and you don't get killed.
You ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you care which one I read next?
No, I don't.
Okay, good. Steve Seidel asks, who is your doppelganger and what's your favorite toy?
Steve Seidel is a good buddy of mine. Steve worked on all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Steve's one of the guys who worked on like the first 5 years of anything we did.
Yeah. He will be on PBR in October.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
He's a great
He's awesome.
guy, and he was awesome. And back then, when we did everything, as a matter of fact, you specifically,
Yeah.
was the only other person. When we first started off as the Tenderloins Comedy Troupe, the guys and I met in 1990 in high school, and then when we got back from college in 99, we formed the Tenderloins Comedy Troupe, and we did improv shows. And one of the things we wanted to do back then is, and this was before YouTube, before MySpace, before the whole boom, before even really accessible digital
Content.
like conveniences and stuff like that, where now you could like make a movie on your phone this afternoon.
Right.
We wanted to make short films before each of the live shows, and the first one we did was called Espionage, and we played 5 army spies or whatever the hell we were, and Mike shot the entire thing.
Yeah.
And it was such that we had no one to help us. That was the very, very first one. So
It was literally me and my Sony Handycam at that
and the
time.
4 of us.
Right.
We-
Yeah,
we
that's
made-
what I mean. Yeah, like that
we
was
made
the
a
crew.
movie.
That was the crew.
There was a day that we spent in a snowstorm. It was 2 feet of snow.
But it was out of season because I showed up much like I'm dressed now, in shorts and a shirt and some sneakers, and there was like 4 feet of snow on the island.
And we went and shot it was you and the 4 of us. Like if one of us wasn't in the shot, we were holding the boom.
Yeah.
And he had the camera.
Yeah.
And we shot for about 12 to 15 hours in the snow. It was unbelievable. And that was in 99.
To this day, the joke still comes up about putting something in front of the foreground.
The leaf.
They're like, we need something in the foreground in the shot. So I'm literally standing in like 2 feet of snow, and I grab a branch, and I heard it's like it snowed, so there's like 2 leaves on the branch,
Yeah.
and I hold it in front of the camera, and I'm freezing, shaking, man. I would love to see
Yeah,
that.
I have them all.
Oh, do you?
My God. What you did was amazing, but a lot of the jokes, they really don't hold up. They're like, all right, they're like 20-year-old jokes. They're like our first stab at writing jokes.
Yeah.
I tried to watch it with Casey Jost, who's a writer on it recently here. I was like, oh, this will be a hoot. We'll throw this in. We'll make fun of how bad it is.
Right.
But it was so bad we couldn't make fun because it would be uncomfortable. It was like bad. But it was moments. You saw the glimmers of something. But Steve was one of the guys that used to help with all that. My doppelganger, I really don't. I don't know. I know that every time someone tweets at me or leaves me a message that I don't know that says, "Oh, look at my brother-in-law. Oh, look at my friend. Oh, look at my boyfriend. Oh, look at this guy from this television show or this band. They look just like you." It's always it's usually disappointing to me. I'm like, I don't think I look like that guy. Nothing against those people, but
Right, because they're all beautiful.
yeah, we are. We're all unique.
Everybody is, right?
But just when someone likens you to someone that you don't think you look like, you're like, no way.
When I read that, I couldn't think of one. Like I don't.
I can't think of
it's
any.
tough.
I'm
You're
looking,
tough.
yeah.
You're very
For me,
Unique.
unique. That's the word I was looking for.
people tell me who do I say I look like? It all depends on what weight class I'm dealing with.
I hear
Because I
ya.
fluctuate about 40
Same
pounds
here,
from year
yeah.
to year.
This whole table does that.
Yep.
The toy, my favorite toy. That's a good question, man. I'm a toy guy.
I like toys.
I still have, like, in the attic right now, I have a bin of all my old toys.
Really?
I have Star Wars
Legos?
guys. I have the Legos. I have Star Wars. I have G.I. Joe. I
Used.
Used. They're mine, yeah.
Yeah. He-Man.
You got all the He-Man.
Castle Grayskull.
Got it.
Oh man.
You
got
have a Moss Man
I don't have Moss
What's
Man.
Moss Man?
Yeah.
from He-Man.
I don't know
Oh,
that one.
all right.
I have
covered in
Snake
moss.
Mountain, too. Snake
Yeah.
Mountain, Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
So I have all the He-Man. I have all the G.I. Joe. I have all the Star Wars. I also have
The original Star Wars, like the Kenner back in the day.
Kenner. Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Wow.
And I have the wrestlers too, the rubber.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I got those all in one bit. They're like my last of the childhood toys up there.
Okay, cool.
So those, I guess action figures and stuff.
You would have loved one of our
Yeah.
episodes at Carton. We had on one of the writers for WWE,
Okay.
and we played a little game where we had to act as if,
Impersonate all the classic wrestlers,
sure,
right?
man.
Jimmy
Classic.
Superfly
but in
Snuka.
a political reference.
Oh
Right.
God.
Like you had to pose a political commentary, and then you had to answer it as Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
and then we
that's
had to
funny.
guess who you were.
That's funny. That's funny.
That was great.
Yeah, I used to be so into wrestling as a kid. I mean, I guess everybody was. It fell off now, but it's bigger than ever right now.
Oh, it's huge. They have their own network now.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
All right, let's go another Twitter here. This is from Laura. How do you say it? Chabel Cinco?
know.
That's her tag at Chabel Cinco. If you weren't doing IJ or tenderloins and everything else you do, what would you be doing now? Did you have a plan B?
I used to own a bar. I out of college, I worked like a 9 to 5 at Prudential Securities for like 5 years, and I was doing like comedy on the side. Then I wanted to do comedy full time, so I started bartending, and I bartended for like and ended up being over a decade. And I learned that business pretty well. I started managing a bar, and then I bought one. That was my fault.
That was plan.
That's
plan.
like every
but
man's
I
dream too.
Recently, you know what? You think it is, you romanticize it in your head, but it is the hardest job I've ever had in my life. Harder than anything I've ever done.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot. You need to be there. It's 24/7. It's not a joke when they say that, and it can get to it. So I'm out of that. I'm out of that recently. That was my backup plan. Right now, if and when the show goes away, obviously the goal would be to just get another show,
Yeah.
or what have you. But I'm gonna just be a comic. That's it.
I love it.
Cool.
I love it. Let's do one more Facebook.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, that sounds cool. This individual, Debbie Carnahan Nichols, asks Sal, what have you learned about people sociologically from doing Jokers? Also, can you shout out to Tracy and Debbie at your upcoming Joliet show?
Okay. Well, absolutely not on the second one. That's insane. I'm not a dancing monkey.
Right.
Sociologically, I learned that people have a much greater tolerance than we might assume at first. When we first started the show, we thought every person was going to punch us in the teeth. You know what I mean? Just like immediately punch you. But then you realize that it's not necessarily like that, and you can kind of like, there's a very, very small subsection of people that their first immediate reaction is violence. And we come across those too, but it's like 1 out of 1,000.
Yeah.
And then you duck, But other than that, like people really want to process stuff. And the thing with us too is like, for me, the gold reaction from someone in our show is confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Anger doesn't play right. It just feels mean, and that's something we always said from the beginning. We're not really trying to be mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'll do a mean joke like once every couple of episodes where we push it to the point where it's like.
like don't throw chicken at people's heads.
I didn't want to do that though, you see. So I didn't really that was against my better judgment to throw that. I probably should have said no, because it also is built to where we have to push each other where we say no. Because Murray told me I think Murray told me to throw a chicken wing at some guy's head on the boardwalk from inside the restaurant,
Right.
and he probably thought I was going to say no to that. In which case, I end up looking like a good guy for not doing it, and that's fine. But I was like, I lose too much, and I just can't. You can't also lose, because the punishments are bad. So I threw the chicken finger. I don't think he said at his head. Actually, I just said he said throw it, and.
You almost hit
And it was apparently it was my most accurate throw of my life, and it like whizzed by his head by a half an inch, and it ended up being really funny because he came in and he wanted to like kill everyone, but then he after like a half hour he was like, "This is great," and then
the guy was a war vet who just came back from
like
Iraq, who had
PTSD.
he did, and he said that, and he comes. I don't know if they.
Freaking chicken wing whizzing
Well, he's
past
lucky
his
he didn't
face.
draw first blood.
I don't know if they showed this or not, but he comes in the back and he goes, "Who?" Sal at this point has this. This is aired, right? He was ducked behind the counter. This is a hot ass day. We're in Seaside. It's been a long day. Now
Seaside.
everything gets shut down because this guy's ready to murder. So now this just takes production to a whole. It's more hours,
Right.
And everybody's like, oh, right. So this guy comes in. He's wearing like a Kango. He's pretty jacked up, and he comes in. And he goes, now Sal's behind the counter. He's like, who threw that chicken?
Well, first
I
of all,
want him here now. I want him here right now.
I want his family dead.
Did you do this?
I did it, but I had ducked under the counter, and then he stormed in. And he's like, "Who threw the finger? Who threw the chicken finger?" So I popped my head up from the thing, like I was just seeing him for the first time. And I was like, "What's that? You want to order chicken fingers?" And he's like, "No, I want to know who. I just got a chicken finger thrown at me, and I ain't going nowhere. I want the guy to come to my face and tell me in my face I threw a chicken finger at you." And I was like, "So then you don't want to order a chicken finger?" I was just playing like dumb, like. And then he's like, "I'm not leaving here until." He's like, "I'll shut this place down. Get the cops." So now he calls the cops.
Yeah.
So the cops in 3 full seasons, 75 plus episodes, the cops have been called maybe 5 times.
Okay.
And that's like not a lot of times.
Yeah.
We filmed
Considering what you do.
hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah.
So, and you got to understand the nature of production, if maybe some of the listeners don't know, is that it's expensive. Like to get our whole crew and transport them to South Jersey a couple of hours away and set up and a hidden camera and all this and that. And I mean, there's 40 crew members there.
Yeah.
And that day is probably costing $50,000. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
So if it gets shut down, I mean, this stuff is kind of factored in here and there.
Right.
But you can't really, you can't really get shut down. But then in the end, he was a good sport about it. And then liked the fact that it would be on TV, I guess. And he actually, this is a secret. I can't say when, but he makes a reappearance in the show.
does.
Yeah. Not by chance.
Okay.
I was going to say that was my next
No, not by
question.
chance. We invite him back.
What people don't realize, I guess, like Sal was like, it's only like 5 times that the cops had to come or whatever, or security has to get involved. When 50 people reveal themselves, people change quickly. You know what I mean? Like
We're part of this.
He just knew a chicken finger came out his head. He's getting pissed. But when 50 people
Come
with
out.
cameras and
Sure.
notebooks and
Right.
sound guys
Right.
reveal themselves,
Yeah.
things get different.
Yeah.
People kind of chill out.
Yeah, the overall response is one of like bemusement, amusement, laughter. But then some people take it as that we slighted them. Like some people have this
Sabotage them with a hidden camera?
innate thing like, oh, you think you're gonna get one over on me,
Right.
and they're offended.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, it's really lighthearted. So a lot of times we'll take them in the back and we'll show them what we filmed.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, unfortunately, like you can't trust, like especially like with reality TV, like you can edit something any way you want.
Sure.
And so they want to just be assured that we're not making a fool out of them. And really, the show is we're supposed to make fools out of ourselves.
And you want them to sign off on it, obviously.
Oh
right?
hell yeah. So we're really, I think we are very transparent when it comes to that. Like we just want to make ourselves look horrible, So that's why I was saying the best reaction from me is not one of anger from them; it's one of confusion. That's for me. That's the funniest.
Yeah. Cool.
It's a lot of fun, man. It's a good work environment.
Do you guys have security on the set?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But the security I've never, ever seen security get involved. Maybe the one time when Gatto was scooping food off at the Chinese restaurant, I don't even know if he had to get involved. But I think the power of the camera, like,
Right.
not to compare it at all, but when I do Blue Shirt Buds, everyone's like, how do you not get murdered? Because there's a camera crew and a guy with a suit standing there and a sound guy. Like, nobody wants to mess with you with that. They obviously,
Well, they don't-
Everybody acts better when there's a camera.
But
on
they
them.
don't see that.
No, but when it's revealed to them, they chill out. Like right? I mean,
Yeah, well, the security has had to step in Again, probably less than five times in the 3 years, which is really good too. And it's just immediate because it only takes 1 second for someone to cock back and punch you in the face.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like really, you got to stay on your toes. But for the most part, no, not too much.
All right, we're gonna play a little game. It's called What's in the Box? And here's how it goes. All right, so basically, I have this box. This time it was my turn, so I put an item in this box. I'm gonna give the 3 of you a hint. I'm the only. Stop trying to cheat, Buffet. I'm the only one that knows what's inside the box. I'm gonna give a hint. Each of you get a guess. His guesses are Buffet's guesses are gonna be terrible. So it's really you're working off you and Chris. After your first round of guesses, I'll give you another hint. I'm gonna give 3 hints. So you get 3 guesses each. Whoever can guess what's in the box is gonna get to keep what's in the box.
Okay. Well, so so then you have an advantage.
No, why?
Well, someone say I have an advantage.
Why? Why?
Because what if he gets before I even get a chance to get?
No. Say I should say this. We save our final guesses for the end. So even if you know it after guess number 1, you're gonna hold off.
Got it.
All right. Otherwise, it ruins the goddamn game.
Okay.
You guys ready to play?
Yeah, let's
Everybody
do it.
with me? Let's play. What's in the box? Here's my first hint as to what is in this box. Hint number 1. One of us loves it. One of us hates it, and the other 2, they're indifferent.
Matthew McConaughey's in the box.
I thought it was hockey.
Oh, let's start with Buffet.
One of us loves it.
One of us loves it. One of us hate it. The other 2 are indifferent.
So I'm factored in.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm one. Okay.
Yeah. That would be 4 people.
I didn't know if you meant.
Carried
like,
Should I ask my question,
I
Chris?
don't know if you meant.
It's up to you, man. Season 2, you can switch it up now. He always says Ferris wheels.
we get to ask,
Pharmaceutical
we get to
objects?
ask a question,
Well, yeah.
and then you save the guess.
Save your final guess for the end. So right now you're gonna kind of guess what.
Okay.
One of us hates it. One of us loves us. And one of us is like, man.
2 of you are like,
Is it made of plastic?
I don't. I say no. I'm gonna say no. I had to think about that for a second, but no, it is not made of plastic.
Mine. I just want everyone to know that the box is branded. Just so you know, this is amazing. Okay.
Spared no expense.
Is it representative of something culturally significant?
100% cultural speech impediment. Speech impediment. I'm
I think you'd have a cue
I
on
fed
that.
you that just so you trip on it.
Thank you. Culturally significant to our culture.
That was my question.
Sorry.
You're up.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm deducing so far. You said one of us loves it, one of us hates it. The other 2 are
Yeah.
And I don't know if you'd take liberties with what you think I think is which means I think I'm either gonna love it or hate it. I'm one of those people.
Okay.
So I'm going off of that. Now I'm thinking about what you know about me that I love and hate.
Wow. This guy's good.
Serious, like real smart
He's
there.
good, man.
I'm like,
I can't talk. I can't talk in this. All right. So,
I'm definitely the meh guy in this equation, aren't I?
well, in Sal's world, that would make 2 of us and one of us loving it.
Yeah.
However, I wrote it, so I guess you have to deduce that I love it. Possibly.
No,
Maybe.
I'm deducing I'm one of the ones that either love it or hate it.
Okay.
Okay. And so I'm going to ask the question. Do you need? Does it have a function?
It does have a function. It does have a function. The function is, I would say, the function is of love and joy.
I know what it is.
So here we go. The second hint.
no, you don't.
I do.
The second hint is that all 3 of you, at one point in your lives, have met her, and she has something to do with what's in the box. Joe Maffei?
Is it edible?
Negative. So it's not made of plastic. It's not edible.
It is something culturally significant.
It's culturally significant.
within our little circle of Pizza Beer Revolution.
I thought it was empanadas.
And it's of love and joy.
And it's something that we've all met this person.
Well, you've all met her.
That's why I was thinking it was flaky tart.
Oh boy! But you just said it's not edible.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
It's not cheese.
Does this she have blonde hair?
No, she does not have blonde hair. Mr. Vulcano.
Oh man. Okay. You really took a leap with that next clue. Now I'm.
And also, let me just say for the
I
record.
know what it is.
For the record, let me say, she's obviously not in that box. Okay.
Right.
We got that much.
Really
This is the box is the size. This is for podcaster out there, podcast land. It's the size of a shoebox.
All right, that's right.
And we've all met her.
You've all met her.
Yeah, I know what it is.
So it's not edible, not made of plastic, serves a function of joy.
And
it's
love.
culturally significant within us.
Yes.
One of us loves it, one of us doesn't, two or
Yeah.
It's related somehow to this person who's a girl who we all have met.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty good, man.
Nice synopsis.
Just bringing everyone up to speed in case you just tuned in.
You after this,
Since you
get
went out of
one
your
more.
way, you went out of your way to find our podcast and come in midway.
Yeah.
I'm coming in at 117 and I'm fine with it.
The what now?
Mac.
It's all rolling.
Ah, sweet.
I'm sorry if I'm taking a little bit, but
it's fine.
I'm playing to win.
Which just would make
Aren't we all? Because we get to take it.
It's not edible.
No.
That's what threw me.
Right now is the portion where you
How many
switch over.
questions have we had so far?
Well, you have one more. I have one more clue. I'm ready to give that clue, and
Yeah.
then we're going to do our final guesses. So I guess, in theory, your next guess or next thing you say is your final guess.
the guess.
Is the guess. Okay?
Ask a good question then.
Sal? Thinking on the radio for long periods of time
I know.
doesn't make for good radio.
I know. Okay, but well, the thing is, now that you said we've all met her, I'm wondering if I should think out of the box.
We've all
I
met
mean,
her.
think
Think
out of this
inside the
box.
box.
Sal has met her as well.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, but see, in
gotta
my
be
head,
Pam.
I'm like,
It's
oh,
gotta
this
be
could be
Pam.
weed, and you're talking about like we all met Mary Jane before.
Oh no! I'm not. I'm completely not
not- it's not a
abstract.
metaphor?
No,
Yeah.
it's not at all. This
Okay.
this she has a vagina and teats. You know what I mean?
all right,
Like,
all right, all right. I'd say, is it
Well, Kelly's here too.
do you need something else for it to work?
no, you don't need anything else for it to work. So let me give you hint number 3. She's a mascot who at one point has touched all of our lives.
I know
She
what it
sends
is.
this gift with love, affection, terrible breath. Now, what's in the box?
A mascot?
Yes.
You know who it is.
Why do you guys know and I don't?
I feel so dumb right now. And
Terrible breath, love, affection.
Q doesn't have terrible breath.
So, Maffei, your final guess?
I have no idea. Let me think a little more. Sal got to take some time.
Ah.
Hold on. She has
I'll
the terrible
fill-
breath. Like a dog
I'll
would
fill
have
the
terrible
air
breath.
while you think. She's a mascot. That's throwing me big time.
Really?
She's a mascot.
She's a mascot. She's a mascot. Yes, she is. She is. She's not in the box, though. I've made that clear.
She's a
Come on.
mascot. Well,
She's sending this.
And she has a vagina and teats.
And she's sending this with love and affection.
So I'm thinking it's a cat.
Do you want one more? I'll give one more hint now to give a fair playing field.
Yes.
At one point in our time, you were at my house drinking a glass of water,
Got it.
and she may have stuck her face into your glass of water.
Okay, got it. Now I understand. Teats. I should have got it with teats.
So, Maffei?
I know it's a cat, but I don't know what the effect is.
Right,
What's
right.
in
So
there?
here we go. Guess it out. What did she send with love and
oh,
affection?
I know exactly what it is now.
So you should go last then if you really know. Maffei?
Oh God, one of us loves it. One of us hates it. Both, two of us.
I hate it. That's for sure, right? Because it's cat related.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it cat crap?
It's not cat crap. Sal Vulcano, your final answer?
Does she? Is it used kitty litter?
No, but that would have been good. God damn. Dennis, why did I
Both
think
of
of
those
that?
would have been great.
Mr. Ippolito, if you get this, I'll be so impressed.
I'm a Ren and Stimpy fan. It's a hairball, dude.
Oh, well, partially some of her hair. God, it's all stuffed in. There is a hairball in here from Tilly the cat, who's and she put a note,
always shed with you in mind. Oh my love. Wait, what is this?
and that is her hair. Theoretically speaking, and this is a picture of Tilly with Cat's Rule on it. Right?
God.
One of us love it, one of us hates it. The other two are indifferent. I was really
Wait,
hoping.
that is her hair?
Well, she put a little note. Sal, you want to read the note?
This hairball was shed with you in mind. All my love, Tilly.
I was really hoping that.
But this is not her.
I'm
hair.
glad I didn't win that. I don't want to take that home.
Well,
Right?
the best part about it was I was really hoping that Sal would win it,
Right.
He did
So
win
when
it.
he opened it, you win it anyway, Sal. But when
Oh,
he
thank you.
opened it, the hair, the cat hair that I combed off of Tilly today and threw into the box.
that looks like that.
you know.
Got it.
There's two problems with this. I just shaved Tilly a week ago, so she's bald, so I couldn't get any real hair off of her.
Okay.
So there's cotton, but I'm still nice.
I mean, I was up until 5 seconds ago. I was still very confused. I'm like, is this a stuffed animal, Tilly? I don't even know.
So Tilly's the cat.
great.
You can see her. She's all over our Instagram and Twitter.
The she really threw me. I was thinking of. I should have realized when you said teeth.
We'll bring
That
it
was a
up.
good one, man. That was a tough.
It was
tough
tough,
thing
but
to
I thought
decode,
it was,
yeah.
That was good.
you know?
In the future, I prefer it to be something I want to win.
It's pizza. I'm very excited to have it,
I'm
and it's
hungry.
been
Let's
sitting
eat.
here.
Yeah, I'm
so
hungry.
what do you think? We dig into this?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I feel. I hope it's hot and piping. Like
It'll be great.
I still hope it's good, despite the.
You got a microwave,
But
right?
I eat cold pizza, so.
Cold
too.
pizza is arguably better.
Pretty solid.
Right?
At times.
Maffei, any plugs before we head out?
I just want to plug Brian Hughes. He sent us some pint glasses and a hat. I really appreciate it, superfan.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Is it too late to plug True Detective
Never.
on HBO?
Never.
What a great show. Check it out.
Sally, anything you want to plug?
I don't know. What Say You podcast, I guess. That's a lot of fun. And I have no idea. Oh, yeah, you know what? If any of you guys are listening from across the country, we're going on tour from September 19th to October 4th on a bus.
Yeah.
And we're going to be in a lot of different states. So if you have never seen us live, check that out. You can get tickets on thetenderloins.com.
And don't forget about Jokers Wild.
Oh, yeah. See what I did there? Oh, yeah. That's September 25th.
PizzaBeerRevolution.com. We'll see you on the flip side.